Hi everybody, Paul here from Hill Country Rings. Today, I'm going to be trying out a new tool. And this is the UniMandrel from a company I work with called Ring Supplies. And this is the current mandrel that I use, and well, let's go in the shop and we can look at the differences. Alright, this is the current mandrel I use, and this is an expanding mandrel. And this is what I put the ring on to put it onto the lathe. And sometimes if it's a little big, then I have to use a smaller mandrel, and if sometimes it's a little too big for that one, then I have to maybe put some tape on it. But this is good for like little small rings like this one. But getting the ring perfectly aligned when I'm turning it is kind of a pain sometimes, and I'm a little worried about these like black ceramic or tungsten rings, that if I tighten these down too much it might crack it. So this is supposedly a mandrel that is good for any size ring, and what it does, and it self-aligns, is you take this off, and then just put the ring on, put this guy on here, and it kind of self-aligns and self-centers, and then it makes it really easy to turn. So then I put that back on. So we're going to try this out and just see how this works and see if it's better. I don't think it's going to be good for sanding, but for turning this ring perfectly centered, I think that might be the trick. So let's put this on the lathe and try him out. Alright, usually probably what I should do is go ahead and put the tailstock in, and that will with the little spinner, that will keep it a little more stable in this end. But I really don't usually do that when I'm turning rings because they're so small. And actually this thing looks like it is pretty centered. I mean, getting the ring perfectly where it turns perfectly centered is usually kind of a trick, and with this thing I just put this guy on and boom, it's self-centered. So let's go ahead and we're going to turn this ring like I normally do and just see what we get. Well, I am pretty impressed. This turned really nice and clean, and I was afraid I was going to be hitting these guys with my lathe tool, but didn't have a problem. So that is really cool. Now, one thing they say, I've heard other ring makers say, don't use this for sanding, because if you do, you might hit this and sand that and mess it up. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on a regular mandrel for sanding. Alright, I'm really impressed with this UniMandrel. Basically because it's a little more expensive. This is about 150 bucks for this, but it is a precision machine tool. They actually make them at the company ringsupplies.com. It's a JD there is a great, fantastic person to work with, and I buy a lot of ring cores from him. He does all my engraving. It's really cool that this will fit just about any ring, and it self-centers that ring. That is so cool. And yeah, $150 seems like a lot, but when you think about that these mandrels like this are about 35 bucks, and so you got the small one, and you got the medium one, and then you got the big boy here for big rings, and each of these is about $35, so kind of works out in the wash. I'm going to be using these for sanding and stuff, but I'm going to be using this guy for turning, and I'm really excited about using him for different rings. So that's just a little quick video, and glad you came by. As I get new tools or new techniques, I'll make sure to show them, because I love making rings, and I'd love to make a ring for you. Thanks, everybody.